Hey guys, what's up? I am here today to do another repot video with my tissue cultures. These are the Thai constellations that I had promised I would do an update for you guys and kind of go through when you should repot your plants. Now, I know there's like this whole misconception that you should repot your plant when it's root bound. However, did you know that being root bound is not entirely a bad thing? I mean, I know when I first started getting into plants, I used to think, oh, it's totally root bound. You know, I see the roots, it's coming out of the top, it looks like it's suffocating, and it's actually not. The plant itself is actually not suffocating, and it's actually thriving. And I say that because when your plant is root bound, there's a lot of oxygen going on in here. And your plant actually needs a lot of oxygen in order for it to grow and thrive. So when you actually repot your plant and you put it in a container that's like 2 inches bigger and you add more soil to it and you water it, now you have a recipe for root rot. So when should you repot your plants? Well, you should repot your plants when the roots are actually sticking out of the bottom. Now, as you can see, these aren't sticking out of the bottom because I accidentally snapped them off when I was trying to pull them out of the cabinet over there. But the roots were sticking out of the bottom, so they are ready to be repotted. But yeah, so the next time you're like itching to repot your plants, stop what you're doing and just really take a look at your plants to see whether or not it actually needs to be repotted. Because chances are when we repot, we upsize the container and then we add more soil, and it's just, you know, now we're like, why is it dying? Why is it not acclimating very well? And you know, it makes a lot of sense. And I think that's the whole reason why like everybody it's all about, oh, you need to have a chunky aeroid mix. It has to be super chunky. But then it's like, if it's too chunky, you run the risk of having pockets where the water kind of like stays and it doesn't ever go anywhere, and then root rot, you know? So rule of thumb, don't upsize too quickly and actually look at the plant. So later today, while I'm filming, I'm gonna pull this out so you guys can actually see whether or not it does need to be upsized. I actually don't think my Thai constellations need to be upsized. I'm actually just gonna put them in this cup right here, and it seems to be like the same diameter, it's just the height. So the height is taller and I'm hoping that it doesn't really need to be upsized so quickly. So let's go ahead and get started. So here are my tissue cultures. Now, as you know, I have been growing these for quite some time, and if you have been following me on this journey, thank you. I totally appreciate every single one of you guys who have been very supportive with my decision to go through this again. And yeah, so they're doing quite well. This leaf is disturbing. This specific Thai constellation is freaking me out because it just doesn't look happy right now. So something is clearly going on. I don't know what it is, and that's why I'm gonna take it out of the container. So the new leaf looks kind of sad, kind of wonky, and this leaf is curling. So I don't know what's going on with it, but we're gonna figure it out today. And this one seems to be doing pretty good. Here's the newest leaf. Looks very, very cute. The variegation looks pretty legit. This one is the creme brulee, and it's kind of slashy, pretty slashy. Not too bad. But yeah, these little baby leaves over here, they're starting to like wilt a little bit, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's the OCD that I have, but I always want to like prune it and, you know, yeah, prune it and peel it back and get rid of it. But I'm gonna refrain from doing that because sometimes your plant may just need that extra little bit of energy that it's absorbing from that baby leaf. So I'm just gonna let it be. But yeah, we're gonna start with this one because I'm very curious as to what's going on with that. I have my potting mat placed down already, and I have some some gloves because I just don't want to get my hands dirty today. All right. Okay. Looks like this plant is potentially going through some root rot. Oh no. Okay, that explains a whole lot. So the soil looks very wet. Now mind you, I had watered this last week, and Sunday is when they get watered. So abort. I'm aborting my plan. I actually was going to repot this in chunky aeroid mix, but I'm not doing that today. I think I'm gonna try to, I'm not gonna try, I'm gonna put this in what do you call it, semi-hydro, because for some reason Thai constellations, they prefer semi-hydro. So that's what I'm gonna do today. And yeah. Oh, I'm kind of sad, but I'm glad I took it out of here. This video may end up being longer than I had anticipated. I actually really thought that I was just gonna be you know, pulling it out and saying, oh, here it is, look at the roots, they look great. But it looks like it's struggling a little bit, and I'm not here for that. So this will be cleaned up, and then I'm gonna grab some ponds and some stratum. So I'll walk you through step by step how I'm gonna take care of this in a moment. I'm just gonna quickly clean this up, and let's check this guy out over here to see if it's any good or any bad. I don't know. Oh, how disappointing. Ooh, this one looks pretty legit. This one looks good. Hope it's focusing. There you go. Looks pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. So this one looks okay. And I know I had said that you should repot your plants when you see like the roots are coming through the bottom of the cup. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but yeah, I kind of snapped it off while I was trying to grab it to get it ready for this video. So anyways, this looks okay. What I've learned with Thai constellations is they don't like to have their root ball disturbed. So what I'm actually gonna do is just kind of like push this root down, these roots, and then shove it in here, and then just let it be. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up and then leave this guy alone. So I guess my soil mix didn't go to waste. But yeah. So in here is, what is it? Coarse perlite, I have some pumice, I have charcoal, I have coco coir, and some, what is that stuff called? Tree fern fiber. Tree fern fiber is also in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of reposition this guy down. And I think that's it. This is how it's gonna stay. And I am going to keep a close eye on this and check on it to make sure that, you know, it is doing okay. Because the moment I see any root rot, it's coming out of here ASAP, and it'll be put into semi-hydro. I am not dealing with root rot. Not when I have that, you know, that jug of holy grail stuff that's going to stop the root rot. And yeah, so this is more or less done. The soil, like the soil mixture that I have here, is moist already, so I don't need to rewater this. This is just going to go back into the cabinet and live its life. I'm going to go ahead and rinse this very well and walk you guys through how I'm going to handle this. So I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back and I've cleaned the roots as best as I can. And this is how it looks now. Hope it's focusing. Yes, it is. The roots look pretty good. I think I caught it just before it could, you know, do some real damage, and I'm very happy about that. And I got like a fuzzy root going on over here. So, you know, although it looks kind of looks a little bit sad, it's still choosing to thrive. I'm very disappointed in myself that I let it undergo this. And I noticed that when the roots were actually growing, it was kind of growing into the moss. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but I actually don't prefer to have my my soil mixes include moss, just because if your moss is like not moist, or if it dries out too much, it can repel the water. And then, you know, like I had said earlier, if you have air pockets and water gets trapped in there, that is how you're gonna have root rot. So some of these areas had some moss stuck to it. So I think what probably had happened was it retained too much water, or maybe the moss was too dry and the water just kind of stayed there and just didn't do anything. It didn't have anywhere to go. So yeah. So, oops. Anyways, I know I said I was going to put this in, what do you call it? Ponds, but I'm going to go slow and steady, especially with Thai constellations, because they're so finicky. I'm not going to put it in ponds straight away. What I'm actually going to do is just put it in some water like this. I hope you can see this, but I am not really like submerging the whole thing like this. I'm not doing that. I'm just letting it kind of like sit just right underneath that one chunky aerial root that's like emerging. And the reason for that is because I don't want to run the risk of rotting the stem, because that too can happen for no apparent reason. Just cause. And this is the Holy Grail product that I am talking about. Now, if you watched my previous video, I had talked about this and I was raving about how this totally stopped like root rot, and it just actually promoted more growth for the plants. And so yeah, so what I'm gonna do is keep it in water, and I'm gonna put some of this into here. That was my pathetic attempt of shaking it. So, there you go. And that'll be that. I'm gonna just let it do its thing. And the reason why I'm doing this is because now I'm doing a transition. I'm transitioning these roots from soil roots to water roots. And slow and steady wins the race. Especially the Thai constellations, they're just so finicky. I am not here to kill another plant. So I'm gonna let it just hang out here. I'm gonna check in on it in the next couple of days, and if I see any roots that are kind of looking brown and smushy, I will clip it and then just keep doing it that way, because once it starts to brown, it's developing some bacteria. It needs to go. So hopefully, you know, it chooses life. I'm pretty sure it will, but you know, the transition from soil to water roots can be a nightmare, but it can be done. And to show you guys that this stuff really works, whenever I had filmed that video, I had submerged this cutting in water and had the hydro guard in it, and look at it. It's doing phenomenal. I actually have the other cutting of the elbow downstairs, and it's actually putting off another leaf, like a new leaf right now. So this stuff works. And while I'm here, I think I'm actually going to transition this into semi-hydro. So I'll do that later. You guys don't need to see that. But yeah, my tide constellations, I guess like it's 50-50. One is doing great, the other one not so much. But yeah, at least I'm troubleshooting and I caught it in time. So moral of the story, please make sure that your plant actually does need to be repotted. I suppose also if your leaves start to curl in on itself like this and it's putting off like an ugly leaf, something is going on, check on it, and hopefully you're able to catch it in time. And this is great stuff. Everybody needs to have this. I know it's expensive. I know that there are other, what do you call it? Other products that have the same active ingredient. I've never tried the other stuff, so I can't recommend anything other than this. But hey, if you guys were resourceful and you were able to find like another product that has the same active ingredient in there, please leave it down below, like the comment. Leave the product in the comment down below so that other people can, you know, have nice plants too and prevent root rot. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!